You can just call in the next 5 minutes. Or I text it. Or I text it. Yeah, yeah. Try to access it.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Our students in the house, please, can you fill up the rows, the first four rows across? Please, can you fill them up? Please, let's do that fast. The rows, we should fill in all the seats in the first four rows. There should be no gap. Please, for those sitting at the back, you can move forward, please. So while we're doing that, let's get started with our program for today. Good morning again, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to this career empowerment seminar on occupational health, safety and environment, also known as the HSC, the acronym, with the theme, how to build a successful career as an occupational health, safety and environment professional. This seminar is specially organized for Noun students. So, without wasting any time, we're going to take our Noun anthem, starting with the national anthem first. To call our principal officers to the high table.
Tony, can you increase the volume of this? It's too low. Just increase the volume of this. They're not hearing us at the back.
So now we're going to invite the principal officers to the high table. We want to invite the vice chancellor, of Now, Professor Abdullah Uba Adamu, ably represented by the Director, Learner Support Services, Professor Gregory Akagbari. And of course, the Registrar of the University, ably represented by the Director, Academic Registry, Ms. Tayo Olowola. We have the Director, Abuja Model Study Center, Professor S.M. Ayodele. And of course, the Director, Research Administration and Advancement, Professor Christian Ofulwe. We also have the Dean, Faculty of Sciences, Professor Munioluwa Olaniyi. We also want to invite the MD and CEO, Hybrid Group, Mr. Dapo Omolade, and Mrs. Remy Omolade, also from Hybrid Group. We will now rise for the national anthem, followed by the noun anthem. Thank you. While we remain standing, may we all say a word of prayer for this program individually according to our faith. May the Lord answer our prayers. Amen. May we all take our seats, please. Once again, you're welcome to this program, Career Empowerment Seminar on Occupational Health and Safety Empowerment and Environment. I beg your pardon. The theme is how to build a successful career as an occupational health, safety, and environment professional. And of course, without wasting much time, we're going to go straight to inviting Professor, I beg your pardon, Professor G.O. Okagari, representing the Vice Chancellor, to give the opening remarks and, of course, to declare the seminar open. Sorry for the mix-up. We're welcoming Professor C. Ofuri to give the welcome address.
Good morning, everyone. The Vice Chancellor, Professor Abdallah Ubad, ably represented by the Director of Learner Support Services of the National University of Nigeria, the Principal Officers here present, Deans and Directors here present, Management, the Director, Abuja Model Study Center, and staff, the Managing Director, Hybrid Group, and staff, invited guests, staff, and students of the National University of Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning once again. Let me just first of all apologize again for the delay in starting. We advertised this quite profusely and asked that people should register online so as to make the process fast. So apologies once again for starting behind schedule. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the first Career Empowerment Seminar that has been organized by the University, the National University of Nigeria, in conjunction with the Hybrid Group, on building a successful career in the health, safety, and environment industry. The seminar is a demonstration of the university's commitment to forging closer ties with industry for the purpose of equipping its students with 21st century skills. The university's Directorate of Research, Administration and Advancement, which has as part of its mandate to explore and facilitate linkages and partnership opportunities with industry for research and training towards job creation, is facilitating this initiative, and of course in conjunction with the faculties. I would like to thank the deans of the faculties of sciences, health sciences, social sciences, in particular, for being a part of facilitating this seminar event for their students. This seminar, therefore, is one of such initiatives, and it is aimed at addressing the skills gap that has been identified in the health, safety, and environment sector. Specifically, the seminar is aimed at creating awareness about the opportunities that exist in the health, safety, and environment industry. One. Secondly, to foster academia and industry collaborations in order to bridge the skills gap in that sector. And thirdly, to encourage professional certification among our students for graduate employability and career opportunities. The seminar is in two phases. Today's seminar is being streamed live to all study centers in the North, comprising the Northeast, Northwest, and North Central. The second phase, which will be for all study centers in the in the South, comprising Southwest, Southeast, and South-South, is scheduled for a later date, which will be announced in due course. I would like to end my welcome address by thanking the Vice Chancellor and management of the National Open University of Nigeria for their support, the deans, the Center Director of Abuja Model Study Center, the directors of study centers in and outside Abuja that are currently hooked onto this event online, and the students of this great university for their cooperation and contributions in making this day a reality. Without you being present here, there will be no seminar. So thank you for coming. Special thanks goes to the hybrid group and the local organizing committee for this seminar, for their commitment and tireless efforts in organizing this event. Vice Chancellor, sir, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is our hope and expectation that the outcomes of this seminar will justify the resources and efforts that have been expended on it, and more importantly, will be of great benefit to you, our students, by setting you on a successful career path. Thank you all for coming and for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the welcome address. We will now invite Professor Gregory Ohabari to give the Vice Chancellor's opening remarks and to declare the seminar open. You're welcome, sir.
Good morning, everyone. This is the address of the Vice Chancellor of National Open University of Nigeria, Professor Abdallah Adamu. On this occasion of the seminar organized by the Noun Hybrid Group Career Empowerment Group. The principal officers, management and staff of National Open University of Nigeria, our esteemed partners, especially Mr. Dr. Omolade, the MD of Hybrid Group, and his staff, our distinguished invited guests, our good students, for whom this seminar was organized. I'm extremely delighted and pleased to welcome you all. First, let me express the university's management appreciation to the Hybrid Group decision to partner with the university in delivering this capacity building program designed to sensitize our students to the immense potentials and career prospects that exist in the emerging field of health and environment. This initiative is in line with NOUN's strategic goal of creating partnership and linkages with industry stakeholders to ensure that our students are adequately exposed and equipped for the 21st century labor market. I'm also pleased to note that as an open and distant learning institution, the seminar organizers are making good use of technology by streaming this seminar live at 40 study centers in the north, which is the first phase of the event. The second phase will cover the study centers in the south. I wish to thank all center directors of our study centers in the north and all staff for their contributions and effort in ensuring that our students are participate in this event. I urge our students to take full advantage of the opportunities offered by this career seminar that could position you for self-employment in health, safety, and environment after graduation and further career prospects. I also wish to commend the Directorate of Research and Advancement for facilitating this partnership. Finally, it is my pleasure to formally declare this Career Empowerment Seminar open, and I wish you a fruitful deliberations. Thank you very much.
It's time for the group photograph. We need the principal officers to take the group photograph.
They can do it here.
Right in front of the high table. Right away, we're going to have the seminar overview taken by Mrs. Drake from Hybrid Group. You're welcome. Please, can we give her a round of applause? Good morning, all. I welcome everyone once again to the maiden edition of this program. Our primary objective is to X-ray safety profession and assist anyone that may be interested either in building a career in this profession or adding workplace values and skills to existing vocation or profession. And the overview of this seminar is for us to achieve the objectives stated and to provide insight into the following area of your vocation: the safety profession, the global and the Nigerian perspective, the requirements of the safety profession, how to develop necessary competencies and of the safety profession, and the opportunities in safety profession right here in Nigeria. Then we are giving you a view into the way forward to this profession. The focus here is right here at home. We are bringing global trends here and we are going to adapt it into your career path. And that is the reason why Hybrid Group is here today. We appreciate the privilege given to us by the Governing Council of this
University in bringing forth this initiative onto you, and we believe that will go a long way in instilling the safety culture, not only in the career path, but even taking it home to our individual practices in our home. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Remy Omolade from Hybrid Group. And right away, we're taking the presentation proper. To deliver this is Mr. Dapo. The presentation will be taken by Mr. Dapo Omolade, the MD and CEO of Hybrid Group. Meanwhile, some of our principal officers, because of their busy schedule, they want to take their leave right now while the presentation kicks off. So let's welcome Mr. Dapo Omolade. You're welcome. Okay, so let's put our hands together as they take their leave. Sadako, please.
Testing. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to start by saying a very big appreciation to the Governing Council and the management and staff of National Open University of Nigeria for this great opportunity to stand before you. And I would like to say this is not taken for granted for giving us this chance. We do not see it as an opportunity, but we see it as our own contribution to Nigeria. So what I want to say, welcome to everyone that is seated here today. My name is Dapo Omolade, and I'm going to be doing a short presentation to us. I hope this will last for just according to the plan. And then we'll see what we can ask from feedback, questions, and answer on what has been done. Okay. Right, this seminar is themed how to build a successful career as a safety professional. I'd like to start by asking how many of us have one or two persons who are safety professionals, either that you know or that maybe it's your brother, your sister, your family, a friend or acquaintance that is presently either in Nigeria or outside Nigeria practicing as a safety officer, manager, supervisor, whatever you want to call it. Can I see your hand? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, thank you. The reason why I've asked that question is just so that we can start thinking about what this is all about. My second question is, how many of us know somebody who is a medical doctor? Either your brother, your sister, your family from your village that is a medical doctor. Can I see your hand? You know a doctor. Can I see your hand? I'm trying to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Okay, I'm losing counts now. So if I'm taking a rough estimate, maybe about 30 people raise their hands. How many people here have brothers and sisters or family members, daddy and mommies, who are engineers? For any aspect or field of engineering. Can I see your hand? Okay, I'm trying to count again. So this looks more than the doctors. So maybe looking like 40 persons. Let's do the last one. How many people know someone who is an accountant? or in the business industry or a banker? Can I see your hand? Okay, this looks even more. So it appears the last three profession I called is very popular, while the first one I mentioned does not seem to exist. And that's why we are here today. The reason why we are here today is to give you an idea of a career for the next decade, or the career of the future that, unfortunately for us in Nigeria, by virtue of where we are and who we are, we do not even know that it exists. I'm very happy I have about 5 people who know somebody who is a safety professional. Some other fora where I've asked this question is always been, what are you talking about? Is that a profession? Is that a career? Who are those that are there? Those are the questions I get. So if you take that back to what we're doing now, it may not be too far from it. If out of about the number of people seated there, we have 5 people who know safety professionals, it means it does appear that we're in the extinct point of evolution. However, we are just starting. So that's why it's not known. So I'm here this morning just to open us, to give us an idea of what health and safety and environment is. Who are these people? What chances, what potentials do we have in Nigeria in this career? And I'd like to give you an understanding of what is happening elsewhere outside of Nigeria. Because if we stay here and we think it's just about Nigeria, then we are making a mistake. We are doing this now and it's streamed live. This is part of globalization. This is global thing. So it means we have to also compare what is happening outside of Nigeria to what we are here. And then that can give us on what this is all about. So the whole, at the end of grace, what I've been doing for years now is trying to make disciples all over Nigeria of safety professionals. That doesn't make me a preacher, but I only want to use the opportunity, which for me as well was an accident, to now tell people that there's a profession. I'll start by letting you know that becoming a safety professional for me was an accident. It was not in anywhere or anyhow anything I ever knew, thought about, or tried to become. That's why even in today, my first degree was in Nigeria here, so there's no way I could have even known, because until recently, there is no course like health and safety in any university in Nigeria. The environment might be there in some, but the health and safety aspect is totally lacking. So when you look at the brochure that take us to the university, you are likely not going to find a health and safety as a course for you to do. And that explains why we don't even know that this exists. So that also will tell you that I didn't put this up in my JAM or in my WAEC or anything that I would like to become a safety professional. I just found myself in it by accident, and today I'm a professional of about 20 years in this industry. So it means this industry is actually older than 20 years in Nigeria, and yet we are not aware. I know 1 or 2 persons who have been safety people in Nigeria for the past 40 years. We have them, some are even 50 years old in the industry in Nigeria, and yet we are not aware. It simply means there's a gap somewhere. That gap that we found is why we are here, and we're partnering with Noun management and the school to close that gap. Because if we don't close that gap, then there's something we are losing. And I'm going to be showing you what we are losing. We are losing quite a lot, apart from just a career. We're losing so many things. I'll go into that very shortly, and we'll see that as we move in the presentation. I think this is it. Okay. So what we do? All right, so yeah, while we're dealing with that, I'm sure it's shown now. So okay, thank you. Right. So there are 2 objectives with all the objectives that you have heard spoken on this podium today that I would like to achieve at the end of this presentation. One of them is to at the end of the day, to be able to have some people come up to say, maybe this is a career I would like to chase. Maybe this can give me the advantage that I've been looking for. Maybe this can give me the mileage in order to become who I would like to become in Nigeria or outside of Nigeria. That's the first goal. The second one added to that is, some of us would like to have it and say, okay, maybe this would be an added value to what I'm presently doing. So it becomes a skill that you can bring to the table whenever the need arises. So you are not necessarily going to becoming a safety professional, but you are able to use the skill and the knowledge you are getting from that industry to make your work better, or more primarily to stay alive on your job. So those two goals at the end of this session, I hope you're able to achieve them in the audience that are seated here. This is failing. You can hear someone failing. Okay. That's your hand. Okay. Okay, good. All right. So that's what I've said. So becoming safety professionals, and I put it as a build a career. Let me give you a very short background to this. My background is in the oil and gas industry. I worked in the oil and gas industry for about 10 to 12 years. And but prior to that time, my degree, so if I start from there, that will give you a little bit of a hope. So because I don't know the audience that are seated here, but the career I'm bringing to the table this morning is a career that is available and is possible for anybody, irrespective of what your course of study is or what you have been doing before. My background for first degree was in forestry. And I'm sure that sounds very strange to somebody here. So I also did a degree that was not very popular when I was in school. So I finished after 5 years studying forestry. And during my service year and going forward, I accidentally met safety. And then I've been on that now since 1999 or thereabout. But we want to build a career, which means whatever you have done before now, or whatever course of study that you have been doing, is irrespective. Today we have doctors who are safety professionals working with us. We have lawyers who are now safety professionals working with us. So it means it is a career that anybody can get into, as long as you realize and you believe that there is something you can achieve from this career. 2010, precisely August 28, that was about 8 years ago. I was still in the industry practicing as a safety advisor for one of the oil and gas companies in Nigeria. And a thought came to me some years before then. Whenever I was out of home, because there was an offshore, onshore stuff, so I always go out of my family to go to work. And whenever I go to work, everywhere where I'm working is very safe. You know, because in the oil industry, safety is the first language everybody speaks. So it was very clear and very easy for us to imbibe safety, and we're doing safety. Whenever I came back home for my holiday and I landed in the city of Lagos, there's fears all over me. Because when I see what is going on around, I see the way people are driving. I go into some companies and some places to help them, and I see the way people are working. And I'm asking myself, this is not the way from, so what is the difference? Then I realized that out there in the society was a big gap, because only the oil and gas industry seemed to understand what safety was all about. While other industries like the construction, manufacturing, institutions, hospitals, there was absolutely no knowledge of health and safety because it does not exist. So I started asking myself, what can I do? What impact can I do? What can I change? Because my brothers are working there, my sisters are working there, my wife is working there, I have people who are working there. So if I'm safe and I'm alive and I lose my brother, that's a big deal to me. And that prompted a kind of a desire in my heart to say, how can I impact my society? This to let you know that I started doing these events that we're doing today 8 years ago. The first one was held 8 years ago. That was the simple banner that we did then when we were doing it, that on August 20th. And during this event, we plan to have just, I think about 200 people was what we planned for in the event. We planned for about 200 persons to attend the event. And we put all the resources together at absolutely no cost, just like what we're doing now, because this is how we do it, at no cost to you. And on the day of the event, we're expecting about 200. And before the session started, we discovered that the hall could no longer take the number of people that we had, because we took a 250 capacity hall to have 200 persons. And suddenly the number grew to 400. And when I saw the number and the people that attended the event, as I was finishing the event that day, a thought came to me. I said, okay, so there's actually a vast majority out there that wouldn't mind this career. And that was the beginning of my resignation from my job. And on record, 4 months after this event, I quit where I used to work. And I said, no, this is what I want to do. This looks like there's so many, not just opportunity, but there's an opportunity to also give back. There are people that are there that need something new. So I resigned and we started hybrid, and we began with this, saying, let's go talk. Today I can tell you how many thousands of people have gone through this event that you are going to today. So this is not the first time we are doing this. I have to give you that history so that you understand. A lot of people today started their safety career after that seminar empowerment that we did in 2010. And a whole lot more are doing safety today because consistently, almost every other month, we are doing this in Lagos and across Nigeria. So it is a big deal for us. It's a vision that we have because we know there's something there that we need to learn. So that's the objective. That's what we're going to achieve in this. Right. So look at this quote by Gates Foundation: economic opportunity plus high skilled workers equals prosperity. This is a quote that every time I say it, it tells me something, that prosperity may be very difficult if there is no skill. Now, the economic opportunity in Nigeria for health and safety is unbelievable. I can stand here to tell you that what we have out there, the requirement for this career out there is so much that prior to this time, more than 75% of those that were practicing health and safety in Nigeria were all expatriates before now. Because we do not have the skill, we do not have the competence, we do not have the education, nobody has told us about it. We chased other very lucrative careers in our mind, engineering and the rest of them. And nobody is chasing, or nobody is even thinking about health and safety as a career. So the experts come from the Europe, they come from America, they come from Asia, they come from South Africa, and they come to Nigeria to do the job and to earn the resources that Nigeria should have been earning. I know about this because I also did a little bit of a research around this to see how many Nigerians are actually in this industry today. And as of today, in the whole country, I'm not sure we can boast of 10,000 safety professionals in Nigeria as a whole country. And that tells you, if you go to your community and your village, I'm sure you have more than 10,000 engineers in some villages, in some communities. But in the whole of the country, about 10,000. Because the registered professional body that tells us the total number of professionals in Nigeria says we're about 7,000. So let's assume that some other have not registered with that body. Maybe about 10,000 persons. If you compare that to other professions, then you find out that we have not started when it comes to health and safety in Nigeria. Some of you will attest to it as we move on in this presentation. So economic opportunity that we have in Nigeria for the safety is so massive that we need to start embracing it. And this is what we are doing this for. Unemployment rate in Nigeria increased to 18.8% in Q3 of 2017. This is the statistics that can, everybody has this, is online, is from the National Bureau of Statistics, you can see it. And when you see some of these statistics, you start asking yourself, what hope do you have to have a job? Either as a fresh graduate or even as someone who has graduated, what hope do we have? Total unemployment and underemployment combined increased from 37.2% in Q2 to 40%. Underemployment. So you see engineers that have to become recharge card sellers because there is no job. You see someone who say, okay, I'm an economist, but there's no job to do. I will teach in a school, underemployment, things that are not exactly what you should have had. This statistics does not give us any hope, I can tell you, when you look at it. However, we need to bring to the table hope for all Nigerians, especially the young ones, that there is something else you can latch onto, and that can give you the mileage that you need for the rest of your life. And one of those careers today is health and safety. As at the end of Q3 2017, 15.9 million people are not unemployed and 18 million people are underemployed. Unemployment and underemployment continue to be highest for persons between ages of 15 to 34, the youth, our own age. That's where the issue is. So, and we're the one coming out of schools and looking for jobs, but there are other jobs that can actually become better leverage for us. HSC employment requirement. In Nigeria, this data may not be available, and that's true. However, let us consider from the global perspective and recommendations. Louis Harte, Senior Project Manager behind how to appoint the best HSC representative, says in compliance with OSHA framework that you need to make sure you have at least, this is where you need to start looking at the mass in Nigeria. I've told you the total safety professionals, about 10,000, to our population of about 150 million that we have. Look at what is said here by global standard. One HS officer, one safety officer, if you have more than 20 employees. One HSC officer for every 50 employees or less in a factory or warehouse or industry. 3 safety officers for every 100 employees or less in factory, warehouse or industry. If you do this as simple maths, I'm sure in your mind that you'll be asking how many safety officers should we actually have in our employment in Nigeria, where about 65 million people are employed. Then you know we do not have the resources to make it happen. So when you go around and you hear, oh, there has been an accident in the factory, a building has just collapsed in a construction site, there has been fire in the place, one of the reasons is because there are no qualified, competent safety professionals to ensure that accidents are prevented. That's the reason. Because when you talk to somebody, they say, why did this happen? And you start hearing, oh, I was trying to turn the fuel into the generator while it was working. Then you are asking yourself, then why is there no fire? And if you have been doing that, you should be asking yourself some questions. That why is there no fire in my house? Why have I not been burnt? So you are counting on luck, which does not last for too long. So really, in Nigeria, we do not have them. If this is one of the best recommendations for OSHA is actually from the US. That is the regulator for health and safety in the US. And I say when you have 100 employees, you should have between 2 and 3 safety professionals to help them work. Where do we have them in Nigeria? Even if we decide today that we want to obey this, we cannot make it happen because we do not have the safety professionals that can go into the industry. If Nigeria government says today every factory must have a safety representative, we will not have safety officers to fill it because we don't have them. And the reason we don't have them is because nobody has actually thought that you can become a safety professional. I told you from the beginning that I didn't plan any time to be a safety professional. I got into it by very serious accident, which means somebody just said, stay here. And that was all, and I saw safety. So it's not something that we know, but we are really behind in these statistics, and that's why I had to put this there for you to understand better. So if we apply this to Nigeria, where we presently have about 100 million workers in various workplaces and sectors, we will need an estimated average of about 2 million safety professionals. 2 million compared to 10,000. Do the math and see the percentage that we're talking about here. So we are very far from it. From available records today, this one membership, this one is the Institute of Safety Professionals of Nigeria. That's the chartered body, membership body of safety professionals in Nigeria. It's a chartered professional membership body by the government. From ISPON, a little over 6,000 people have registered today as members. And others who are not members of the chartered body, we may have less than 10,000. That's what I'm talking about. That's about 0.5% of the needed safety professionals in Nigeria. 0.5% that we need. Every time I see incident, because we still do a lot of work as well, going into organizations trying to help them manage their safety, and you hear some accident occur and you know what led to it. You just understand. I've been to a site before where they have about 1,000 people working and there's no single person who is a qualified safety professional. So when I got there, I asked the project manager, why are you not killing people? And the man was shocked. Why are people not dying? He was shocked. He said, do I want people to die? I said, no, if you don't have safety officer on this side, we should be asking you not why you have had accident. We should ask why are you not having it? Because you can't be working in that kind of dangerous conditions, dangerous situations, and yet you are not having accident. It's either you are lying to me or something else is happening. And my findings most of the time is usually a lie. When I go there, I say, oh, have you had an accident in the last 1 year? They say, here, we have never had an accident before. Just yesterday, but somebody dropped from the ladder. That is not an accident. He hasn't died. So once he has died, that's an accident. If somebody tripped while coming in here this morning, that's not an accident. He only tripped. When we got there and we were rolling this baby, I had to tell my colleague, I said, no, there was a cable there. Let's put the cable inside. Because I know somebody can trip from the cable there and get back to the hospital from here. That's what we do. That's our job. To make those things that look very simple, that you think cannot cause anything, to let you see what it can cause. If your eyes and your skill and your knowledge base does not even support that, you will also go through it because several people went through that cable. They passed through it, some people leaped over it. And if I say, what did you just say? Say, no, just a cable, I'm just crossing. But I wasn't seeing a cable because in my training, when I see a cable like that, I'm seeing somebody in the hospital or at worst case, somebody in the graveyard. That's my training. So I do not trivialize basic, oh, it was just water on the staircase. People have gone back to God just because of water or staircase. If there's no safety professional there to teach that, then it becomes normal. So if you fall, then you are the unlucky one. If you do not fall, then you are paid very well before you came to work. And that's usually the paradigm. That is the mindset. And that mindset has stopped most of us for even considering what safety is all about. 0.5% is what we have presently. And that's why we're doing this. That means there is or will be another 10 to 50% increase in the number of safety professionals required in the industry in the next decade. I can tell you this is going to happen in the next decade. I think it was 8 years ago as well, when I was going to do that seminar, I did a simple, quick research in Lagos State using a demographic area as my base. And I wanted to find out what people's perception was about safety. And I was asking simple question. What if there's fire in your house and you are alone at home? What do you do? And more than 98% responded they have to take off on their heels and run away. And I asked the next question. How would you run away if the door is locked and the door is far from you? He said, I have to run through the smoke, cover my eye with my hand. How would you see if you cover your face with your hand? He said, okay, I will see. When I got those feedbacks, I said, okay, if I throw that same question back to this audience now and say, if there is a smoke in your room and you are in that room, how would you go out? I'm likely going to get about 50% saying exactly what I was told 8 years ago. So who is going to teach it until you know these are realities that happen? If you don't understand that, then it becomes something that somebody needs someone to be taught about it. I'm painting these pictures to let you know that the health and safety industry is a competent-based industry that requires study, that requires qualification. Unfortunately, in Nigeria, we have not had the opportunity to learn it in the university or in the polytechnics. Therefore, we don't know about it. And then, how can we become professionals in it? I doubt if there are so many professionals in Nigeria who have not had a training. So if you have not had a training, you possibly cannot call yourself a professional. It becomes a professional when you have had qualifications and training and all of that. So that's an opportunity to prepare for. That's one of the reasons for this seminar. I'm not saying now, but look at 10 years. Some of us seated there in 10 years within your late 30s, early 30s, maybe late 40s. Is there something that you want to do? I'm told by a lot of several people in motivational speaking that opportunity really does not wait. It's for those who are prepared for it. You are prepared, ready. And that's what I'm saying, that becoming a safety professional right now is a good preparation that anybody can think about. And then start the preparation for when there will be the explosion. There will be the explosion that I can go to the bank with. It's a guarantee. It's a guarantee because we cannot be having the level of infrastructure development, the level of advancement we're having in Nigeria today. It cannot be going on that way without safety professionals. Just look at Abuja. When I come to Abuja, I'm always amazed. Look at the high-rise structures going up. In Lagos, we are starting that because there's no land again. So now they buy a 2-story and they convert it to 10-story. When you are doing a 10-story building, you don't want to understand the level of health and safety. Go to those companies that are doing that construction, you will see the safety. Go to my brother that is building my duplex in the back of my house, there is no safety. It's still construction. In fact, sometimes it's the same construction company. So they don't change the level. Oh, when we are doing seven staircases or 7 floors, there's something we must do. So that tells you exactly what an understanding of safety is. Can somebody fall from a bungalow and die? He can't, just as he can fall from 7-story and also kill himself. Safety is just not a respecter of anybody. Safety is what everybody needs to stay alive. So this is an opportunity to prepare for as a career, and that's why we're challenging you now to start thinking about it. Now, basically, a tip into our profession. At the end of this session, you are not going to become a safety, you are not going to come near to becoming a safety professional. Let me say that as a clause from the start. This is an awareness seminar. It's not going to make you a safety professional in any way. It's just going to tell you about becoming a safety professional. But let's make a quick tip into our world. What do we do as safety professionals? Our primary objective is to prevent harm to people. But we also consider the environment, we consider the property, and we consider the production. So if we are employed, we basically say, employ me to make sure that you do not kill people, you don't destroy the environment, you don't lose your property, and your business is not lost. That's what I do. And that looks like a very serious job, isn't it? It doesn't appear like that. But I can tell you today, walk into any reasonable businessman and tell him, give me a chance to reduce your losses, he will get you a job. Because everybody understands what the loss is. Give me a chance to have your product not destroyed by anything. He will say, what do I need to do to be safe? He will ask you that question. Because he needs it. He's in business to make money and to make ends meet. Anything that can disrupt that process, we would like to have it. And that's what we do. So sometimes we go around telling ourselves we are loss prevention, but our own job is to be trained to make sure all these aspects of your life, of your work process, are prevented from harm that happens out there. People, equipment, materials, and machines usually they come as safety professionals. So safety science is a 21st century term for everything that goes into prevention of accidents, including illnesses, fires, explosions, and other events which harm the people, the environment, and the property. So there's actually now something called safety science, 21st century. You see how early or how young the industry is, and that's why we're now aware of it. Is the featured job presently across the globe. So the term safety science may sound very new, but many sources of safety science knowledge are hundreds of years old, and of course some are even more. All of the following are some of the knowledge areas of safety science. So that means if you have gone to school to become a chemist, you have studied chemistry, biology, physics, economics. Whichever part of this you are studying, you are already learning some aspects of health and safety, because health and safety builds its strength on these sciences and this structure. So I told you I love forestry, so you are wondering how forestry has become safety. Because there are things I learned in forestry today that has become part of what I do even when I'm doing my health and safety as a professional. So it is not a waste and it's not a loss, because safety brings all profession together. Everyone. because everyone can have an injury, everyone can have an accident, everyone can cause incident in your own workplace. Therefore, you need a safety person, irrespective of the industry or the vocation that you are studying. So, sorry. So, safety professional principles. So you see, we draw our principles. I'm a safety professional today, but my principles that I use in working are drawn from engineering, from sciences, from education, from psychology, physiology, enforcement, which is law, hygiene and health, management and business, and even law and humanities. So I'm sure if you are seated here, you should find yourself in one of these areas. Is that not true? Anybody who is not within this area, let me see your hand up. You are seated there and you are not doing any of this. So this is basically life sciences. These are things that we have well studied, and yet health and safety draw our principle from here. So it means you already have something you have learned that can become very valid for you as a safety professional. What are you doing with it? Because you don't know, you can actually move. I was talking with a friend of mine some time ago. He read a friend is a younger brother to a friend, and he went to school and studied health. And I was inquisitive a little bit as I asked him, occupational health, what do you actually do? What did they teach you throughout your study in school in Nigeria here? And so I mentioning, I do this, I say, you are already a quarter or halfway into health and safety now. Because if this is what you do, then you already learn principles. You say, hey, I don't even know what this safety is all about, sir. Because he's not been told. If you don't know it, you don't know it. What you don't know, definitely you can't act on it. But our principles are drawn from everything that you have done here. So it's always saying I'm combining everybody together to become myself. How easy would that be? I only pick what is necessary for me to make sure I prevent losses. That is a safety professional's job. So from this slide that we have just seen, HSC finds application in every discipline today. Every discipline you can imagine, we find application in there. It is a multidisciplinary career, and so the competence part is not just discipline specific, but rather, please, if you are not going to listen to anything today, this slide is very important for you. This career takes its foundation, not just from the discipline that you have studied, but from your interest, from your determination, and from the opportunity that exists. If you consider those three things and say, okay, I've been an engineer, but this is it. Okay, I'm interested. I want to show. Okay, what opportunities are available? What do I need to do? It's a matter of another few years down the road, you can also stay here on this platform and say exactly what I'm saying. It takes interest, it takes determination, it takes opportunity. The interest and determination is because it is as heavy and as difficult as studying engineering. Therefore, you are going to have to do quite a lot. But if you have become an engineer, then what can be harder? If you have become a doctor, what can be harder? Whatever subject you have studied, you have done something. So it means you can also become a safety professional. Interest and determination. So our work, every workplace has its own unique hazard that will cause accident if they are not controlled. For example, STF generally means slip, trips, and fall. Noise, manual handling, chemicals, ergonomics, fire, etc. So, this is a hall. And if I'm brought here to do a simple inspection of this workplace, there are findings I will come up with to tell you, if you don't do this, you're going to have problem maybe later. I start asking, has anybody tried to fall here? Yes, I've fallen before, but I didn't break my leg. Okay. It means every workplace. So even a hall like this needs to be assessed to make it safe for people that come here. And that was what I did this morning when I got about 8 o'clock. I went out quickly. I checked. If there's anything there, where will I go out through? I have to check. Sometimes safety people are very selfish because it's about your own safety. So when I go around, if something starts, and when we turn now, are we all going to go out through? Is it this door alone? How are we going to go out before 3 to 5 minutes, which is the sanity period for response? When it gets beyond that, a lot of things would have happened. So I checked. I went to the bathroom. I checked the bathroom. I went to where they're doing the food. I said, okay, let me check because that is my training. While you are seated in a very beautiful hall with an AC, I'm looking at a place that can cause me injury. because our training is on being very pessimistic rather than be optimistic. Most people seated here would have prayed this morning. We still said another prayer here, and you are very sure you are going back home. After all, you are no. For safety person, I have prayed, but there's something else I still need to do. And that thing I need to do is to make sure my environment is safe. So a workplace is a workplace, and workplaces have hazard in them. If you don't take care of the hazard in workplaces, people are going to get killed. One of the universities that we work with very strongly on this empowerment career as well. About 2 years ago, I went to the university and I passed through their swimming pool. And I saw the swimming pool, and as I was walking, I told the guy with me, I said, "You guys need this swimming pool. This is not fair. Oh, Mr. This has been there for so long. We come here to rest in this swimming pool." About a month later, if you listen to the news very well, 2 people drowned in the same pool that I mentioned. They were just walking and they fell. And they fell to the deep end of the pool, about 40 meters. So if you fall into the deep end of the pool and you don't know how to swim, you are a dead man. And when it happened, you will not believe, this was my counter. The guy called me back and said, "Mr. Tapo, what you said that time has happened." I said, "What happened?" He said, "We just lost 2 students in that same pool." And I said, "Well, I was not being prophetic, neither was I prophesying or saying something. I was just saying what I've been trained to check. That when I'm going around the pool and I don't see to say this is the shallow, this is the deep, this is 10 meters, this is 5 meters, instantly, under my training, I will not allow that swimming pool to be used. I will say, no, you can't use it." Someone say, "But this is very nice. Look at the water, it's so crystal, it's so blue, it's so fluid." That's your headache. For me, it is an unsafe place, you can't go there. That's my training. And that's just swimming pool. And you know how many people have died in pools? Either at home or at work. A university environment is a workplace. Children have died in battles at home. These are realities. But because it's not so close, you don't understand. And sometimes we are very good to say it was meant. Safety people do not agree that philosophy that was meant to be. Because once an accident happens, the first question is, there's something that should have been done to prevent it from happening. That's our philosophy. That's what we are trained to do. So you can't come to tell me and say, "I just need it to happen. It was meant to happen." Then you have to convince me how that was meant to happen. Maybe God made it happen or devil made it happen. For us, we don't bring that. So we quickly tell you, either the devil or God, none of them is a control measure when it comes to workplace safety. Control measure are physical things that you put in place to say, "I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, therefore there will not be an accident." Not that I prayed about it and therefore I'm pouring fuel into a running generator. But I pray this morning that God, as I'm doing this thing, make sure it does not explode. Because that's what some of us do. But safety, we do not. So our training is to identify what you are not saying. Tell you what you think is good. What you have seen and say is a beautiful swimming pool, and I tell you that is a graveyard, you'll be shocked, because that's my training, because there's a hazard in the place. So that's what we're saying. Every workplace has its own hazard and it must be controlled. So different industries have different hazards and require unique safety practices. You may not see this very well, but what we have done is to create, this is an office-based environment, this is a construction site, and that's a factory where you can see different workplaces. All of them have their different hazards. How do you know the hazard of the workplace unless you have been trained to say it? So that's why we can see things and we don't know. A typical example that I use sometimes is, this is a bottle of water here. If I remove this label on this bottle of water and I put an acid here, you are likely not going to know there's an acid because it looks just like the water. How do you know that that is an acid? Somebody needs to tell you. Somebody needs to put a label on it. Somebody needs to put a sign on it. I know stories in Nigeria where children have drank from bottle of any canned bottle, glass bottle, thinking it is either a candy or something. Drinking from bottle. I mean, just because the mom has bought the kerosene and cooked it and put it there to use, and the child has thought it is a drink. Open it, and it has happened in Nigeria several times. So hazard of workplaces differ. Safety professionals must be trained on the hazard before they can identify it. So, however, most safety professionals will do all of this. and look at this and see how much the safety professional have to do. As a matter of fact, it is practically difficult for a single professional to do all of this, even for a safety professional. I can't do all of this. I mean, know all of them, but I can't do all of them. Because the work of a safety professional is massive. It cuts across all discipline and it looks at everything. Hazard recognition, inspection and audit, fire protection, regulatory compliance, health hazard control, economics, hazmat, hazardous materials management, environmental protection training, hazard investigation, advisory management, record keeping, evaluation and assessment of controls, emergency response, managing safety programs, and product safety quality management. All of these are the job of the safety professional, and there are very many. You can't do all of this at a single time. Can you hear my voice? Sure. All right, so let me just go on while that is being done. So these are all the jobs that some of us have to do. And I say boldly here, there is no way a single me can do all of this. So I can tell myself, okay, I just want to stay within this and do this. So that also tells us there's a lot of specialization even in safety. So it's not only in engineering you have specialization, or in medicine you have specialization. In health and safety and environment, there is a lot of specialization that you can only say, okay, at the end of my general knowledge, I need to stay here because this is what I need to learn. Others, occupational safety, industrial hygiene, environmental safety, fire protection, economy. So when you see your firefighters, they are in that aspect of health and safety actually. You call them firefighters, but they're actually health and safety professionals. They're only working in that sector or in that specialization. System safety, for those who are in the system like Dr. Shino and the rest of them. System safety, risk management, aviation safety, of course, we have seen a lot of that, but those of us are fine. Dangerous goods, maritime safety, loss control, chemical process, construction, transportation, safety research, behavior-based safety, what we call safety culture, safety laws and litigation. These are specialization. That in the course of the study, you can become any of these as, okay, I'm a safety professional and my core is in risk assessment. So when they are looking for people to come and assess complex processes, you are the one they are looking for, not just a generalist. So safety professionals work everywhere because I already told you that we are needed in every discipline. That also means we work everywhere. I did some part of my education and training in the US, and I was surprised when I got there to even find out that in some university they have a full department of health and safety. As a full department, I'm not saying department teaching health and safety. I mean department administering health and safety. So as you are coming into the university as an inductee, you go through safety induction. They tell you emergency response procedure. They tell you what you need to do to stay here studying and not killing yourself or killing somebody else. These are the things in university. Not just, oh, we are doing it as a course. No, we also have a department that manages the health and safety of everyone in this place. That's what it is. So every workplace, either you are working on the computer, or you are going into a very strong industry, or you are going into oil and gas, aviation, maritime, anywhere you are going to, we work there. As long as there are human beings there, we are there. And human beings make work happen. I know we are getting close to robotics engineering, where robots are going to be doing a lot of our jobs, but up until that time, you and I have to do the job. And when you are doing the job, I've only come to do the job, for example, a welder. What does a welder go to do? He gets the two pieces of iron together and he wants to weld it. His job is to weld it. I will tell you, I say, you are here to weld. I'm here that you can weld safely. They are different. So when you see welders on the road doing welding, they are welding. Are they welding safely? Some of you know they are not because a lot of them have died. You see them connect wires straight to live wire. You see the drilling machine and the grinding machine they are using. It has no insulation. All the wires are flying all over. And yet they are doing the job. You even take your gate, say, let me wear the gate.
You can see what they are doing and you're telling yourself, the guy is just doing his job. Sometimes you are the one actually, putting them in the line of fire. And it may not be possible that some people have died or have been injured doing your job because they have done it in the wrong way. And you may even be there and you are not able to correct them because you also do not know. So we work in everywhere where there are human beings. And that is the reason why I said it's the job of the next century, because there are so many people that we have to be employed as long as workplaces increase like what we have. So I'm looking forward to a short time that now as a university, we not just have a department that teach that course, but a department that manages like logistics, transport department, and all of them. Because there's quite a number of health and safety issues that you also have to address as an institution. That's where we are going, because it's a workplace. All right, so either in the chemicals, agric, the new trust of Nigeria, agriculture. We are moving straight into agric now. Everybody wants to be a farmer. It's a beautiful time. Government are sponsoring, BOI is giving money to agriculture. Let me shock you, globally, agric sector contribute the third highest statistics to fatality globally, agricultural sector. The reason why we are not is because we are doing subsistence farming.
What we are doing now, okay, thank you. All right. So what we are doing now presently is we are doing subsistence farming, where you are farming to feed your family or little. By the time we go into real mechanized farming, then you understand where you have pesticides, you have weedicides, you have fertilizers that people are using, you have the tractors and the mowers on the field that are mowing and cutting people's head or cutting people's leg, or you have the industrial processing machine for agricultural products, for poultry, for cassava, for maize. Then you understand the injury and the hazard and risk in that industry. But now we are not seeing it, but we are moving towards agric right now. So that also tells you that either we like it or yes, if you don't do anything, the statistic of accident will increase, because people now want to go and do mechanized farming without considering the risk of the job. We have a project that we're just about to start in Nasarawa, which is a big agricultural project. And when they were asking me, I was very impressed. I said, oh, wow, okay. An agric venture, a big farm is asking for safety coverage. That is strange. And I come and say, well, that's very strange. How did they get to know about it? Only before I could ask for that question, I found out that it's a foreign company. So they're coming to Nigeria to come and set up a big farm, a big, massive farm. And they have requested for safety before they start. It's because they are coming from somewhere where they understand that safety is required there. There are other farms around us that you go there, you cannot even see anybody ever talk to them about safety unless they don't have any safety team. And that's where we're going now. So when all the mechanization starts in agriculture field that we're going into, health and safety will become the next need. All right, so the employment outlook for safety professional is very bright. The opportunities are high. Depending on your education, communication skills, experience, professional certification, safety professional can expect to have a rewarding career far into the future. As a matter of fact, safety is one of the careers of the future. There are some careers that you are, in fact, I was telling somebody, I said that some of you that have some thinking thing. When your child comes and says, I want to do this course, you start asking, that course will disappear in 5 years' time. Because some careers are disappearing. Oh yes, they are disappearing. Technology will make some careers irrelevant in the next few years. Safety is the career of the future, it's just starting. So we're just beginning the whole journey of safety. And that's why it is a great time for us in Nigeria to be thinking about safety now. There are presently no statistics for the rewards of safety professionals in Nigeria, but the current situation in other parts of the world, again, can help us provide some estimate. What I mean by that is, what should we pay? We have so many payment regime. There's a harmonized salary structure from government. States have their own. Some professionals even have salary structure where they tell themselves, if anybody offers you this amount, less than this, you cannot collect it, because it will reduce our career importance in the society. So we have things like that. In Nigeria, we do not have that presently. So safety careers don't say, how much must we be paid at the starting point? We don't know. So when we get there, whatever they offer us sometime, we take it because there is no structure for our career salary as a safety professional. However, globally, there is structure. So if you also go online to www.assp.org, which is American Society for Safety Professionals, you will see the statistics there on what safety professionals earn in the US as startup. Salaries in the US and other developed economy range from lows of $30,000 per annum for a startup. That average should be about, I can't convert that to Naira now, so, but if you look at that, you are basically saying, divided by 12, so you are basically earning at least about $2,000, you know, every month as a starter globally, outside of Nigeria. And of course, highs of $150,000 per annum. So you are multiplying that by 5, so maybe about $10,000 per month if you are outside of Nigeria as a safety professional. In sub-Saharan Africa, salary for HSC officer may range from about $5,000 to $10,000 per annum. That's, again, if you look at that in Naira, I'm sure I can calculate that. That's about 150,000 to 200,000 Naira in the sub-Saharan Africa. That's what we have as research, as basic salary. And the question you should be asking yourself is, how many other careers will pay this range? If this is what is already in the workplace. That's the range that we have, that is telling us. The top people in the safety profession often earn salaries comparable to top people in law, medicine, engineering, and accounting. So that means it's not a career that is below the big careers that you're talking about. Before I left my work, I can tell you humbly, for more than 5 years, I was paid in dollars in Nigeria, working in Nigeria. I didn't earn Naira. Because then, safety professionals have to come from outside. So they have to benchmark our salary based on those that are coming from outside. And there are still many places in Nigeria today that are paying in that amount because there's no structure. It's okay, I'm paying the field engineer this amount. Oh, you're also the safety officer, so I'm saying you're on the same career level. So I'm paying you this amount, I'm paying it. In some businesses, they say if you pay the expert this amount, you also pay me the amount in equivalence. So you see that going on. Why it is not harmonized? I'm showing you this just to let you know that this is not a career that is saying, come and join a job where you will not have job to do. You will have too much job to do and you will be properly compensated. That's what it means. There will be a compensation that is equal to your skill because it's a skillful industry. So when we compare to any other non-medicine engineering globally, according to Health and Safety and Health 2016 salary survey, 78% of survey respondents earn more than $75,000 per year. This in the US. Of those with 5 to 10 years of safety experience, 48% made between $100,000 and $130,000 per year. And you can check this. These are statistics. Just go to that magazine, you'll see it there. 36% of safety professionals with 20 and above years of experience are making more than $20,000. Why am I in Nigeria? Because at least I have about that year. So if I go there, I should be earning that a year. If I end down a year, I'll just go on holiday and work again. Somebody is doing assay, somebody is calculating the math. Say how much is that in Naira? That's a lot of money in Naira. A lot of money. But I'm in Nigeria here. But this is what we are talking about because we can only benchmark ourselves against what we see outside. And if we are growing at the level of what we are saying, we should be there in another few years. So in Nigeria, the salary of a safety professional with necessary qualification, certification, and 1 to 2 years experience. I've had to add the 1 to 2 years experience to it because experience is very key for health and safety professionals. We earn between 100 and 250,000 naira per month. If you go into the oil industry, this is a joke because this is like 10 times of this in the oil industry. But because that's oil industry, so oil industry cannot be cannot be everybody. So you may be in construction, you may be in the manufacturing, but you should have a benchmark to say this is what you can earn in Nigeria here. So why do you need to become it? I'm rounding up now. Can I become a safety professional? Why do I need to become? Number one, this career is a widely accepted industry globally. And Nigeria is joining the league of the global countries. So it's accepted. Number two, there is career advancement and prospects. You can start from being an officer to a consultant, just like a doctor can be a house doctor to a consultant. There's a progression, and you can see the career path on how you need to go. It is dynamic and very challenging. It is not a routinized industry because every time you check something, you see something different. So there's challenge. So, I just need something that is challenging. health and safety and environment industry is a challenging one. And it is supported by legislation, so that makes it work. There are laws in Nigeria that back up health and safety, so it's supported by it. Can I become a safety professional? The answer is yes if you want. But when you are choosing a career, you should look at a career that is respected, one that is associated with important work, a career that gives you a feeling of accomplishment, a career that provides growth and potential to advance in responsibility. You should also seek a profession where compensation reflects skills and accomplishment. A desirable profession provides stable employment, variety in the daily routine, while keeping your interest and stress low. And I said safety does it all. So becoming, you can start. There's always a starting point. I'll show us a few slides. This is the last one. Steps to becoming a safety professional. I've tried to emphasize to us here that a safety professional must be trained. You cannot take it from there and say safety is common sense. How many of you have heard this term? Safety is common sense. But common sense is also a function of what you have learned. So every time you say you have common sense, then you have seen it. You don't just use common sense for something. So we don't do safety by intuition. We do safety by training. And there are qualifications. Globally, people study first degree, second degree. They are professors of health and safety globally. So it is a career that requires training and education. So, but in Nigeria, we do not have that presently. So what can we do? We do not have that structure for that study presently. Only a few schools are doing it at master's level. Now, for health and safety and environment, just few schools. First degree does not exist anywhere in any university. Some are just thinking of starting it. So, but we have professional qualification that can also stand in for you. And those are few ones we have listed there that have been brought into Nigeria to help us close the gap of education that is missing for those that would like to become safety professional from the UK and the US. This is the starting point. You need to learn the principles of safety profession. You need to get appropriate qualification, and I must submit here, there's no alternative. You can't be a safety professional by dreaming and wishing it. You have to study for it. You have to learn it. You have to be able to attend the course, attend the training, get internship opportunity, get mentored, get tutored before you can become a safety professional. So it takes the same course of learning as what you have done in your own discipline. Please know that there are many courses out there, and if they are not from recognized institution or awarding body, you may learn, but you may also not be recognized and rewarded appropriately. So qualification makes the name happen. If you have the right qualification, then people say yes, because these days it's also very easy for people to check. We are in a global technological world where you can no longer hide anything from anybody. Number two, seek an employment as an intern. You have to seek employment, you must gain experience. A PhD holder as a safety person will not be able to handle workplace safety. That's the truth. Because the dynamism in the workplace is not what you have just studied in your books. By the time you get there, I only see a crane and there are two cranes that want to carry a single load. That could not have been taught in your book. You have to check and start saying, you know, when I was on the field, sometimes when I want to do some dangerous job, our bosses will call us and say, this one is more than broke. Guys, let's go there. So you say, Dako, what do you think? I say, what do you think? Dan, what do you think? Right there, we are making decision on that dangerous job because it is not in the book. So there are some of them that you have to learn by experience. It's only when you are there that you can learn it. So you need to learn. You need to have an intern opportunity. You need to volunteer if you have to. Even if you say no payment, you want to get your experience. You want to learn something to make yourself relevant in the nearest future. Talk to safety professionals or organizations and ask for counseling. If you don't ask for counseling, you may be going forward and backward in this industry without knowing exactly how to go. Attend safety seminars, training for self-development. Join safety professional bodies for networking and opportunities. When you have learned and you have had experience, then join the professional body because that is where the noise about jobs take place. The opportunities come from that part of the whole thing. So join professional bodies, follow safety discussions and handles on social media. There are hundreds of them on social media. where people are talking about different aspects of safety, how to learn, how to progress. Join those people, follow them, and then learn what you need to learn. And lastly, read about safety problems. Read about accidents that happen. Read about disasters in newspapers when they write it in paper for us to see, and magazines, and consider how these events or incidents could have been prevented. That creates a thought pattern inside of you. When you say, oh, a crane just fell while they were doing the road construction, and you're asking yourself, what could have happened? And start giving scenarios. There are many times they've invited us to come and talk on TV, on radio, when something happened. And most time we go there to talk about scenarios. But we say, if this has been happened, these are likelihoods on what would have led to it. Because you have entertained, you have done such thing in your own little time. So read about those problems and then you can provide solutions. The way forward, this career empowerment seminar, the first phase of this project is a good starting point on the platform of our partnership with Noun. Following this seminar, we will progress to phase 2, which will involve deployment of training and certification courses to interested students of Noun. And this will also be followed simultaneously with coaching, with mentoring, with internship and employment opportunities as they appear. That is the way forward. So after now, we are going to start the discussion with everyone that is here. If you think this is something you want to give a try, you want to check, you want to see if it is worth your while, then we'll be there to provide that opportunity for you. And of course, I've not discussed this with Prof, but part of what we do when we do this is we bring the cost to the barest cost that you can attain. For example, I can give you one for an example. We have a course that we do, the level 1, 2, and 3. We do it for about 27,000 for corpers. 3-level course for about 5 days. When we do it for people who are professionals, it's about 90 plus 27 plus 20. That's about 140,000 naira. So when people come outside to do the course, they pay close to 150. When we take it to corporate, because we also have this kind of program for corporate through their SAID program, and we take it to corporate, we say, we're only asking you pay for the certificate, don't pay for anything else. And we do the training and they get the certificate, they're ready for the job. So many corporates that started as corporate today are professionals, right from service here. We've been doing that with corporates now for like 4 or 5 years in the NYSC camp. So this is what we're talking about. We're also willing to open this to Noun to make it affordable, because it's part of our career empowerment process. If you come outside of the career empowerment process, some of the costs will cost you 1 million naira to do. It's on our calendar if you check our website. It will cost you 1 million naira to be able to do it. But if you come to the career, this kind of platform, we have brought the price to what the awarding body is charging only. So you're only paying to the awarding body to get it. We are not interested in that profit as long as this is our project on the empowerment seminar. So this will be available for us as well to be able to follow through for those of us who are interested. So this is a great opportunity for everyone that is seated here, or maybe for your friends and colleagues that are out of here. And the question is simple there: are you ready for this? If you are, then safety professionals have responsibility in every facet of human existence, whether at home or on the road or in any workplace. As long as there's interaction between human assets, systems, equipment, and environment, the safety profession has relevance. This is because such interaction will bring about varied conditions and situations that will require the expertise and skills of the profession in order to prevent the losses while simultaneously increasing productivity of that system. This is very true in Nigeria today, especially as we begin to advance in our technology and infrastructure development. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dako Omolade. That was a very excellent.
Thank you very much, MD Hybrid. Please look into your folders. There's a form, like a short questionnaire, feedback, just four questions for you to fill while the Q&A is going on. I will hand over to the MC. That will be collected on your way out, please. just for us
Thank
to
you.
know read about how you have benefited from this and what more you would like to see in the future. If there are any questions, we'll take questions now. Okay, there's a hand up here. I think we'll take numbers. Can you please raise your hands and then you take a number? This section, any questions here? Any questions here? 3, the lady. 4, the gentleman. What about this section? Okay, we'll do that first round and then we'll go on if there are more. Thank you.
We have some people with their questions. Number 1, who is the first person? Please, can you stand up?
Get a roving mic. Have another mic.
Please, mention your name and then the question. Be brief.
Thank you. Mr. Ajayi. Thank you, Mr. Dapo. Thank you, Mr. Dapo for this great opportunity that you brought to now. My question is talking about the program that you said you want to run now. How soon is it? When do we expect to begin?
The honorable organizer and my co-beneficiaries. My name is Omada Iko Ojo Ibrahim. Mr. Dapo, we want to thank you for your good gesture. Health and safety is not a new department. It has been there from ages, but the awareness is very slight and meager. It's part of what we study in public health and preventive medicine, occupational health, accident and emergency. A lot has been done in this field, but at the end of the day, areas that the knowledge should be put to work were not provided by the government and the community as well. But we thank God that people like you are coming up as an eye-opener to the people that have the initiative, the people that have the knowledge, and the people that are ready to grow in the knowledge. Some years ago, I imbibed into some university if I could have a first degree in occupational health, but it couldn't work out. And even up to now, there are so slight opportunities in some universities in Nigeria that can give room for one who is interested in becoming an occupational physician. But with your initiative and your innovation, I hope some gates will be open to some of us, even as we are already professionals in our various fields, that can still have an additional quality and qualification that can make us to be marketable in our endeavors. And my question goes, by the platform on Noun, if some of us will be interested, what is it going to take us to have an inculcative knowledge? I hope let me lie some of my things to further analysis.
Thank you. Please be brief so that others will have the opportunity. Your name and your study center. And straight to the point, please. Who is the next
The
person?
fourth person, please.
Who is the next person? Okay.
Good day. Permit me to stand on the existing protocol. My name is Favour Manisi. I'm from this study center here, Abuja Model Study Center. Based on all your talks, sir, I understand that other profession has a platform. Like it's easier to assess other profession. Why is it tough to assess this particular profession? And also, what are the steps are you making to make it easier? Now, if you say, based on what you have talked about, as in the platform you have created for open universities, are you going to also make that same platform for other universities? Thank you.
I'm about to give Benson from this Model Study Center. Hello? I want to know when the next training is taking place. Please, sorry. Please, my question is, if someone is interested in an organization able to assist someone who cannot be able to pay for the fees, can the organization able to assist someone who cannot be able to pay for the fees, if there is any?
He's asking for free training.
Standing on existing protocol. Thank you, sir, for this training. My name is CE&GS. I want to know how much is the fee for a professional training if you want to go into it. That's my first question. My second question is, can, like in the civil service, is it recognized if you're presenting this as a certificate for further use in career?
So you can answer this batch.
All right. Thank you very much for the comments and the questions. I will do this quickly. Before concerning of this starting, that's also about 2 times that question was asked. We're going to have a discussion and progress to the phase 2. This is about the phase 1. We can't move to the phase 2, even though that is already talking about the phase 2. We'll be having a further discussion and a meeting with the LOC and the team that have put this together on how to progress on that. But definitely, we already know that that's the 3 phases we're going to go through. So as soon as that decision is made on the next phase, we also use the same means and more means to communicate with you on those phases, and then you can know when the training will be taking place. The comment about how we can have an inculcated learning from the commander there. Thank you for your comments. Very well. Health and safety, like I said in my presentation, I know people in Nigeria have been doing it for 50 years. Not as part of public health or as part of medicine, because those are all aspects where you learn safety as well. But you still go to your workplace and work as a medical doctor. So, but as a safety core professional, it is something that is relatively very new in Nigeria. It's really very new in Nigeria. That's why we have very few people there. But how the training will be taking place, we have, as a body, as a company, we have received approval for international and working bodies to do what we're doing in Nigeria here, with quality training, certification that you can verify that are very well accredited. This is what we're going to be bringing to the table as soon as that phase begins. And I'm going to be showing you how to do that. Why is it tough to access safety discipline? Because it is not very common in Nigeria. That is exactly what I said before. If I use myself as an example, while I was trying to learn health and safety, most times I had to travel out of Nigeria. In fact, for some time, I traveled for so long before I could become to learn it because I could not access it here. It was not available for me to learn in Nigeria, so I had to go. But today, we have a lot of them available right now in country. So that means you don't need to go outside of Nigeria to learn it. You can easily learn it from here. So it's accessible now, although the number, like you said, is still not as we have it. But we have access. Yeah, that's what we're putting here as a company, that we have opportunity for those training in Nigeria here. Are we making this available to other universities? If I'm not mistaken, this is the sixth university where we're already doing this. So this is not the first time we've been in institution. We've been in Unilag, we've been in Babcock, we have been at Lautech. So we are moving around universities. So now I'm giving you the platform. But we still have those one existing and running in other places as well. So how to take all the university and make sure that beyond just career this empowerment seminar, what we are trusting in the next few years that there will be a course of study on health and safety in Nigerian University. So we'll be able to accredit it, and say you can do a degree in health and safety, occupational health and safety department as a course. That's our prayer, and that's what we're working towards. And we are hoping in the next few years this will be a reality.
Okay, when is it taking? When is it taking?
Please, I've answered that. Very soon.
When and how? Sponsorship opportunities. That's how I paraphrase the question there for someone that does not have money. Sponsorship opportunity. We also have on several occasions provided sponsorship, not just as a company, but we also have some very spirited Nigerians who come to us and say, we would like to support what you're doing, so go ahead and sponsorship will be available. That I cannot promise here, but I can tell you I've done it several times. Where sponsorship opportunities are available for those who cannot afford it. Sometimes it is part sponsorship, sometimes it is sponsorship that we expect that after you run you can pay back, but that can also be, but no promises while I'm standing here right now. Fees for the training and courses. I just give an example of the kind of fees that we charge. But definitely, as part of the phase 2, we are going to agree with now on the cost. Because that is the thing we have used in other places. And there is a discussion on what is going to be done, what are the opportunities that are around that we have used to decide the cost. Promise you paying what you go that the cost you're going to have, because that cost, you need, some of us need to work for 1 year to be able to do one cost. We don't want to go by that. So we're not going to go from that. We're going to go with our discussion with the school and make a decision on that. Yes, the last question is this relevant to civil service? The qualification we have is relevant to every arms. As a matter of the military, I have military officers that have trained up to diploma level and they have used it in their business. One of them is the, I think the Naval, who is basically working in the Department of Safety in that military setting because of the training and got. In fact, training that are done globally by office also recognize the certification. So it's not just a certificate. Thank you. That's the last question.
We have more questions from some people here. Matne Daniel.
It's far.
You said something up. How are we going to meet these our mentors and counselors? You said something about mentorship.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Fashola. Yeah, I want to ask, I've been visiting so many offices and they receive fire extinguishers everywhere. And I found that most of them, they don't have a safety officer. Because I remember I did my IT under NMBC depot, and they were still going for check. And we found that most organizations, they don't have safety officers. Now, what your organization is doing to make sure that most of these organizations have safety officers in case of any accident or incident? Thank you.
Any other question? Sense of none.
Please, for those that are already certified with the HSC level, do you have any other level of HSC training? Okay.
Any other question? Here's the person.
My name is Jacinta EWC. I have 4 questions to ask. And the first question is, you talked about different sectors, as in different fields in which one will be trained. As we will be, getting the training, is this training going to cover all the fields, or as we have environmental protection and system safety. So can someone who has been train in other fields, or if you're trained in environmental protection, you have to train strictly on environmental protection. Then the second question is, as a professional and you are being trained in Nigeria, can you use this certificate to get a job outside the country, or it's only here in Nigeria? You want to do this as a profession, you want to get it as a profession. And where is this organization? Where is it, where do you have like your headquarters, where one can be trained in all the fields? Or is it only when seminars are being held in different states? Then the last question is, we have taken, I'm here for the seminar, if a certificate is being given, though I've seen from where I filled some information, like you said earlier that you train corporals, and after that training, they can equally use the certificate. Can they use the certificate to get a job? Because CDS is just a program of a weekly program once in a week, and it's just going to be for a year, and I know certainly it will not be, you won't be coming for the seminar for every week. I don't know, is it every week training, or is just for a day as a corper, or just for a CDS? That's the last question.
Any more questions?
Can I answer the question?
Okay, yes.
Can I answer the questions?
Yes, you can.
All right, thank you very much. I'll go through them quickly. Mentorship and counseling opportunity. That's one question that somebody has asked. If you look at the steps that I gave as how to become, as they do the training, they get mentored. You only get mentoring when you have been trained. So the mentors and the coaches are available in the course of your training and getting the certification that you require. You'll be able to meet those people who are already in the industry to advise you on how to go about it, to guide you on what you need to do to become a proper safety professional. So there are quite a lot of them out there who are ready, who are also working with us to mentor people to becoming safety professionals. How do we get officers into the companies? Ask my brother there. Part of what this seminar is supposed to address is the scarcity of safety professionals in Nigeria. Until we get people who are trained, who are competent, then they cannot go to workplace to work. Otherwise, they will be as unsafe as those who are also there. So this training, the starting point is actually the right point of view for us to start developing competencies for our industries in Nigeria. If you're already certified in some level of health and safety, what next? What next is, my question is, what are you doing with what you have been certified to now? Are you using it to work as a safety professional? Are you using it as an additional value for your job? What next would be an answer based on that decision? Because if you have had some levels of training already, if you are not working as a safety core professional, why are you progressing with that certification? But if you are going to be a professional as a safety person, then there are so many levels remaining, so many of them, up to master's level as a matter of fact, before you continue say you are resting. With the training cover all aspects of specialization and training in specialized areas, the training for let me compare this to what other industries do. When you go into medicine, for example, when you study as a generalist at some point, and then you start becoming a specialist. The training that we are going to be starting with us as training that gives us insight to the general industry. That means any industry you find yourself, you can fit in based on the training.
Subsequently, specialization can now begin. You don't go specializing when you have not learned the general. So you can now start your specialization, and then you can train others to also learn what you have learned. It's a function of what you have learned that you can teach. If you don't know it, you can't teach it. So there will be more teachers as well as soon as you start learning to teach others. Certificates relevance in other parts of the world? The answer is absolutely yes, because the courses that I have showed you there and that we're going to be bringing to the table are not Nigerian courses. They're actually courses that are international. So that means you can go to any part of the world and use that certificate. As a matter of fact, some of them do not even have our company on their name, on the certificate, because anywhere you do it, nobody cares what company has done it for you, as long as you have been approved to do it. So there are international certifications relevant globally, anywhere. The last one there you ask is the hybrid offices. Where are they? As of today, I can tell you that we have offices in 7 different locations in Nigeria. As of today, functional offices with people working with us. Abuja, Warri, Port Harcourt, Ibadan, Ilorin, Kano. So we have 7 functional offices in Nigeria where this training can take place when the need arises and when we start the training. Can the certificate be used to get a job even though it is coming from, is given to corpers? The same answer. The certificates are international certificates. So what we are giving to corpers are not piece of papers. However, how the training is done is determined by different locations. In some of our locations, we do the training over a period of 1 month, where they come every weekend. I think Abuja, if I'm not mistaken, Israel. In Abuja, we do a weekend program where you come on, I think Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday, and you will come in like that for almost a month before you finish. That's why I say it involves training. In some of our locations in Lagos, we do them every Friday, Saturday. In some other locations, they do them Monday, Tuesday. You know, we have divided different methods in different locations based on the location needs. So when the need arises for that as well, we will see how that is done in those places. Okay, I have a question written here that was not asked openly. Does the 27,000 apply to Noun students? Don't forget we are yet to start getting any money for service. I only mentioned that is the one we are dealing with youth corpers. And today I can tell you that's what we have with youth corpers. But how long we are going to be doing this course will be a function of the next phase of discussion with our host here, the department, the professor in charge of the research department. We're going to be doing that discussion and make that decision later. I need the presenter to tell me how I can find my way out of the smoky environment. Smoking, okay. That is safety consultancy without fee. So I'm going to tell you because I raised the question here. So let me answer the question because I didn't give an answer to it. And the reason I didn't give the answer is I said from the beginning that at the end of this, we will not learn anything safety. I hope I achieved that goal. But that's why I didn't answer that question. When you are in a smoke-filled environment, especially a room, your only best chance of survival is to crawl out of that room. If you walk out of the room, what kills people in a fire situation is not the fire but the smoke. Every hot air will rise. So once it is burning, it will be rising up because it's denser than the one down. The survival air that you need, which is oxygen, is below. It's not rising because it's denser. So you go and you crawl out. If you try walking out and you inhale the first dose of a smoke of a plastic or a mattress, you are dead in 5 seconds. You are dead. So by the time the fire finally burns, so they say fire killed you. The smoke actually killed you first before the fire burned. So the fire only roasted the dead body. Crawl out of a smoky room. Don't walk out standing. You can't close your nose for too long. But when you crawl out, you can be breathing while you are crawling out. And that saves you. So we say roll or crawl out of the smoke-filled room. I hope I've answered that question. I'll send my invoice to the person that has the question later. Harum's house. Well, how can I become a member of the... Okay, this is the question I don't want to read out. He wants to know how he wants to become a member of hybrid group. Okay.
You can become a member of hybrid group as a student here because you're a student of environmental management and toxicology. Fantastic. That's the department. That's why I did my master's degree. So that's good. So whoever rises can see me after now. So no problem. We'll talk about it. So just see me before you leave here if you are still around. Thank you very much. That's the last question.
Yes. Okay, so hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Are there any other burning questions? Oh, okay. We'll just take just 3 questions and we'll wrap up. Thank you.
And safety. Not to anything if looking for it. Environment.
Okay, 1. Second question.
What are the things that have acquired the professional, the professionals that have acquired the knowledge? What opportunity are you giving to all sectors? Awareness are you creating to all sectors to enable those that have acquired this knowledge to get opportunities to work?
What's the standard regulating Nigeria? So what is the plan you have in place for recognition in Nigeria?
Oh, we said 3 questions. 3 questions, please.
All right, thank you very much. Sorry, I just wanted to acknowledge before I answer the questions that those last set of questions I read out were actually from the online streaming viewers. So they just wrote it down. So thank you for those that view online. The first done as a student. Okay, the first question is, if what you have studied as part of a syllabus counts for job as a safety professional. Like I mentioned to you, my first degree and second degree were in environmental management. First was forestry and environment, second was environmental management and protection. And that was sufficient to make me an environmental person. But to become a safety person, even though I learned safety within that curriculum, I cannot pride myself as a safety professional because that could just be maybe course 201 as a mandatory course, and you just did that, but your main, like you say, major and minor. So your major may be environment, and therefore the minor may not count. So that's what I'm saying now. For safety professionals, is like becoming a major in safety rather than just picking courses to do. I did courses in law,
at my master's level, but I'm not a lawyer today, and I can't work in a law firm. You understand? So those certifications are necessary to tailor that aspect that you want to project in order for you to have good employment opportunities. Number two, what awareness are we creating in other sectors and to ensure that the safety professionals get jobs? The awareness is growing. Some years back, it was not this way, but what I can tell you now is, as part of this seminar that we're doing, we have NGOs that we're also working with, and what we are doing basically is creating an advocacy in the society. When there's an advocacy and an awareness, then there will be for everybody to see. So we are doing quite a lot, sensitizing people, telling even workers that are going to work in a workplace to go beyond demanding for salary raise, also demand for safety protection. So when they demand for safety protection, the company will have to start thinking, how do I protect? We had a program with the labor union some time back, and that's what we're saying, that we are hoping that very soon the what do you call it now, the demonstration that we're going to, the protest that we're going to have will go beyond salary increase to please protect me while I'm working. When that starts happening and they ask you to do a job and you tell them this job will kill me if you don't give me protection, then the employer will immediately know that this guy already understands that this can kill him. So we provide safety professional. These are all avenues that we're trying to put together to make safety a way of life in Nigeria. What we have presently is that safety has not become a way of life and is a function of knowledge and what we have learned. So when we close the gap of knowledge, like what we have had here today, in another place that is taking place, gradually everybody will get to know that there's something about safety that they must ensure in their workplaces. Once that happens, there will be job for people, and that's where the career opportunities will become a large one for all of us. Last one, regulatory body in Nigeria. If it's for certification and training, I said that we are hoping that very soon NUC will be able to give approval for health and safety in the universities. That will become a substantive one. Also, the ISPON is a chartered membership body that does training. So they also give certificates that are recognized. Outside of that, there are very few institutions like, we talk about specialized safety, like in the maritime. You have a school that gives certification in maritime study and maritime safety, in VI, in Oron, and other places. I think PTI also still does certification in OND and HND level for safety professionals. Outside of that, what we have left are certification from outside of Nigeria, which are the ones that are also recognized. So what I mean by that is, not everybody, because I can assure you, everybody can gather together to say, I can train you on safety. The next question is, what certification are you giving me? If I can print it out from my laptop and give it to you right now, it may not be accredited, and you may not worth your while. So you need to set your certification that you can trace back to who is issuing it and what relevance do they have in the industry. Because of the new set for safety as well, I have to mention here that there are quite a lot of what we call substandard training and certificates that are issued for safety professionals today, that when they come to where job is about to be taken, they tell you this is not relevant, this is not accredited, and therefore it becomes a waste of your money. So you also need to search for that to make sure you are getting a certificate that you can verify the validity and of course the genuineness of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Dapo, for that excellent speech. Would I call it a speech or a lecture? That was a lecture. Thank you very much. And for the answers also. Right away, we are going to invite the Abuja Model Study Center Director, Professor Ayodele, to give the closing remark. Few remarks, I beg your pardon. Good new remarks.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
I want to first of all appreciate the university and the hybrid group for this wonderful seminar. And I believe everybody present benefited from this seminar greatly. And when we talk about safety, it's not only in the working place. Even we have a domestic safety too in our homes. And the benefit is enormous. It's only in Nigeria we do not care much about our health and our safety. If you go out of the soul of this country, anywhere you go, where there are dangers, we put it in place. Safety is very important in all aspects of our life. And as he was giving his seminar, I was whispering to my colleague, the Director of Learner Support, that the university also can key in into this safety aspect. We have a department already on environmental and toxicology. We can prepare a curriculum for either diploma or degree program in this department. And in doing that one, we are going to use you as a consultant in the development of the program. So definitely we are going to raise it, and in conjunction with the Director of Research, we are going to present it to the university management to prepare a curriculum for diploma in environmental and science. So we really want to appreciate you for this wonderful seminar, and the students also, I'm sure, you didn't come here today. You benefited in one way or the other, not only the refreshment that you got from the. So may God bless all of us as we. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. Without wasting any time, may I invite Dr. Musa Runde to give a recap of this seminar. You're welcome, sir.
Sorry, Dr. Kele is going to take the recap and not Dr. Runde.
Good afternoon, everyone. Just to give a recap, to wrap up what the presenter, Mr. Dapko Omalade, has just told us. He has told us that HSE is the ideal career for the next decade. That irrespective of our courses, we can build a career in HSE, and that HSE is drawn from the principles of various disciplines such as chemistry, physics, biology. Health and safety is all about preventing harm in our environment. That HSE is all about preventing harm in our environment, our production places, etc. And that HSE has responsibility in every facet of human life. HSE is important in human endeavor as long as there's interaction between human and equipment. And that in Nigeria, there's great opportunities for HSE professionals. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for the recap. May I now call on the Deputy Registrar, Research Administration and Advancement, Mr. Oladipo Ajayi, to give the vote of thanks.
Yeah. On behalf of the Local Organizing Committee, LOC, of this seminar, I want to thank the University Management, led by the Vice Chancellor, for the support and assistance given for us to hold the seminar. The support has been very massive. I want to thank the entire University Management for this support. To thank the CEO and MD of the Agri Group. In fact, they have been so loaded, so cooperative, so their support has been so massive. When we started this meeting, how we are planning this seminar. So I want to thank Mr. Omalade, I want to thank Mr. Tandy, I want to thank Mr. Kenneth for their commitment towards this course. We are very grateful. Then I want to thank Professor Yodeli, the Center Director of this Abuja Model Study Center. They have been so supportive It was everywhere for us, going everywhere for us, getting people ready. We are very, very grateful, sir. Then I want to thank the entire ICT staff, led by Dr. Adishino and Mr. Tony Alare. They have been so wonderful. I want to thank the media team. You have been so wonderful too. We are grateful for your support. I want to thank all the members of the LOC, Dr. Amos Williams, Dr. Oguche, all the members of the chairman of the subcommittees. We are very grateful. We are really, really grateful for this wonderful support you have rendered towards this successful outing. So I want to thank the Director of Security for the security you have provided too, the Director of Transport for all the things you have done. We are immensely grateful. I want to thank the entire students. You have been so wonderful too. I want to thank you. I believe they are going to key to the key aspect of this seminar. We believe that you take it off from this place. And I want to wish you wonderful trip, Godspeed as you go back to your destinations. Then I want to thank the director and the chairperson of the LOC, Professor Fule. She has been mothering, her role has been, she has been everywhere 24 hours on. We are very grateful, man. We are not going to bless you. So, on behalf of the LOC, I want to say thank you so much. God bless you. And I wish you Godspeed as you go back to our destination. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, the hybrid group for coming. Thank you for your time, and thank God for this successful outing. And right away, may we all rise as we take the Noun anthem, followed by the national anthem. And after this, we all are going to go out to take a group photograph with the hybrid group. Thank you. The Noun anthem, please.